Daniel had always been a dreamer. As a boy, he'd spent countless hours gazing up at the stars, imagining a life filled with adventure and prosperity. But as he grew older, the harsh realities of life began to weigh heavily on his shoulders. He was the eldest of 3 siblings, and his father's untimely death had left his family struggling financially. Daniel took a job at the local factory, working long hours for meager pay. He tried to save every penny, but it seemed like no matter how hard he worked, they were always just one paycheck away from disaster. His mother, a kind but fragile woman, often fell ill, and his younger siblings, still in school, needed tutoring and extracurricular activities to keep up. Daniel felt a crushing weight of responsibility. He knew he had to be strong, to be the backbone of his family. But it was a burden that was becoming increasingly difficult to bear. He often found himself overwhelmed by a sense of hopelessness, feeling like he was drowning in a sea of bills and worries. His family, though appreciative of his efforts, didn't fully understand the toll it was taking on him. They saw him as a reliable and dependable provider, but they didn't see the stress lines etched on his face, or the sleepless nights he endured. They couldn't know the fear that gnawed at him, the constant worry that he might not be able to keep his family afloat. Daniel tried to confide in his friends, but they were all too caught up in their own lives to truly empathize. He felt isolated and alone, a man trapped in a world that seemed determined to keep him down. One evening, as he sat on his porch, staring up at the stars, Daniel felt a surge of anger. He was tired of being the family's punching bag, the one who was always expected to sacrifice for the sake of others. He wanted to scream, to let everyone know how much he was hurting. But he knew that would only make things worse. Instead, he took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down. He realized that he couldn't change his circumstances overnight. But he could change his perspective. He could choose to focus on the positive aspects of his life, on the love and support he had from his family. He could find joy in the small victories, the moments of connection and shared laughter. And so, Daniel began to make a conscious effort to appreciate the good things in his life. He spent more time with his family, playing games and telling stories. He joined a local community group, where he found a sense of belonging and camaraderie. He even started taking evening classes, hoping to acquire new skills that could help him improve his financial situation. It wasn't easy, and there were still many challenges ahead. But Daniel was determined to keep going. He knew that he wasn't alone, and that with perseverance and a positive attitude, he could overcome any obstacle. And so, he continued to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders, but this time, he did so with a newfound strength and resilience.